This Reading Life. The History of the RMHS Boys Swim Team by Will Melly and Tim Jankin.
What can you tell us about the boys swim team here at RMHS?
Well, to be honest, I really haven't heard that much about the boys swim team. I know that this year I'm pretty sure they won the fall championship or whatever that was for. But actually recently, for the first time this weekend I saw a boys Middlesex League champion shirt for swimming. I've never actually seen one of those. It was actually kind of cool to actually see one of those. Because those are usually for other sports. I've never actually seen one. Thought it was kind of nice to see one of those for once. And yeah, you never really hear that much about any other sports, but like the main ones that you'd actually think of, and that's kind of what I know about them.
All right, thank you.
Most people probably think that the football or hockey teams have the longest current win streak at RMHS, but neither of them do. The team with the longest active win streak at RMHS is the boys swim team. The streak started in January of 2010. 33 is the current number of wins the team has garnered through 2.5 seasons, on its way to 2 undefeated Middlesex League titles.
Coach Holbrook was one of the first people to try and get a swim program at RMHS. He and a group of parents went to the school board to try to start the team, but the board rejected their request. A few years later, the group tried again, and they were successful. The inaugural season for the girls' team was in 1988, and the boys followed in 1989.
In the early 90s, the boys swim team competed as a high school team in the Middlesex League, consisting of just kids from Reading. But because of lack of interest from the town of Reading, they joined Stoneham and Linfield and became a co-ed team competing in the Cape Ann League. Since the team began to get too big, they parted ways with Linfield and only kept one teen from Stoneham. After a few years, there were only 2 kids left from Stoneham, and they went back to being only the Reading Rockets.
This past winter, the boys' swim team had the most kids participating that it has ever had with 23. This could be one of the reasons for the current success, because they have had so much depth compared to what they used to have. Connor Daly, captain and catalyst of the squad, has actually been swimming since 8th grade alongside fellow captain Parker Trogot. Together, they have only lost 2 events over the entire 2011-2012 season.
Besides the 2 recent consecutive league titles, the Rockets tied for the league title in 1991 with Lexington and Winchester for a 3-way tie for the league. Up until these past 2 seasons, the Middlesex League has been dominated by the Minutemen of Lexington. Reading ended their 14-year winning streak with a regular season win and also handing Lexington an upset at the Middlesex League meet. Now, I'm here with Dan Travis. Now, Dan, what was your experience like with the team? All right, what was your experience like with the team?
I think you might have just got
This is recording.
On top of these major accomplishments within the Middlesex League, the Rockets boys swim team has proved their dominance in the state of Massachusetts. The last 2 years, the Rockets have earned their highest ever finishes at the North Sectional and Division I state championships. In 2011, the Rockets finished 3rd overall at the North Sectional and 5th overall at the Division I state championship. In 2012, they finished 5th at sectionals, followed by a 7th place finish at states.
Why isn't the swim team as notable as other sports at RMHS?
Well, the swim team used to be pretty bad. I mean, they used to have less than 10 kids every season, and they sucked. So now we're still developing, but we're getting a lot better.
Is the swim team starting to gain more popularity at the high school?
I'd say so. Since we've won 2 Middlesex League champs in a row, we're getting some popularity. People start to know about us.
How have past teams that you've competed on done against competition in the Middlesex League?
Well, I've only competed for Reading, so I wouldn't know about any other town. But when I started as an 8th, all right, as an 8th grader, I think we got 3rd in the league, which was the worst I've ever done on the team. So it's just gone up every year.
What are your thoughts on the team, and do you enjoy competing for RMHS?
Yeah, I love high school swimming a lot more than the Y team that I'm on. It's much more of a team atmosphere and a lot more fun.
And what is your most memorable moment being on the team?
Most memorable moments, definitely winning the Middlesex League title outright this year.
All right, thank you very much. Why isn't the swim team as notable as other sports at RMHS?
The swim team is a lot smaller than a lot of the teams in the school, and I also think it doesn't exactly lend itself to having a lot of people watching it. I mean, our parents and stuff go, but I mean the Y is not exactly like a football stadium, so I just don't think it's as popular because not as many kids are into it, not as many kids go to the meets and stuff like that.
Do you think the swim team is starting to gain more popularity though at the high school?
Yeah, I do think it's gaining more popularity, especially with our recent success. I feel like that's definitely gonna boost what people think about us, and it's gonna draw a lot of people to the team and asking questions about the team.
What are your thoughts on the team, and do you enjoy competing for RMHS?
Yeah, I really enjoy competing for RMHS. I think it's been an overall great experience. The guys are great. I think it's very competitive, which I enjoy, and it's a good atmosphere. Just
what is your most memorable moment being on the team?
Definitely beating Lexington. I mean, the last relay, I was the third leg. It was an unbelievable race. I'm never going to forget that.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
It has been.
So, what's your experience with the team been like?
It's been a great experience. I feel like the team, it's very cohesive. There's a lot of, there's not a lot of kids, but there's a lot of teamwork involved, and we're almost like a family. I mean, it extends further than just being in the pool. We go out to eat together, and we have pasta parties, and it's a lot more than just swimming. It's a whole social environment.
What's it like to never have lost a high school meet before?
It's a challenge because there's more pressure every meet, but I feel like next year I'll be ready to face that challenge and hopefully win again.
Okay. Did you brush your teeth before you came?
I did not, actually.
All right, I thought I noticed that. All right, thank you very much, Connor. Glad to know.
How did you get involved in coaching at RMHS?
Well, my daughter was the coach her senior year in high school, and then she went to college, and Coach Holbrook was looking for someone, and he asked me to recommend someone because I was always on the pool deck at the Y, and I really didn't come up with any names, so finally he said, well, do you want to? And I said, let me think about it. So I went home and I thought about it for a day, and I said, I'll give it a shot, and 3 years later, here I am.
What was your daughter's experience with the team like?
Well, it was a little different for her because those were her peers, and she was a girl and they were boys, so I'm not really sure that she had the same experience as I did being an adult, but she really loved it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Who came up with the idea to start the swim team at Reading Memorial High School?
Well, basically I did. I started back early in the 1980s when my oldest daughter was in swimming for quite a while. Was in high school, and I was trying to get a swim team in high school for her. We had actually quite a few kids from Reading that were swimming. I went to the then superintendent, whose name I forget, but basically he said, I don't want any more teams. I don't even want the teams we have. I want to get rid of the golf team. So we kind of let it go, and about 2 years later, 5 of my friends came to me, the people in the swimming community that I knew, and said, we know you should try to get a team in, let's try it again. And so we spent a couple of nights talking about it, and we went to the new superintendent, Bob Munnelly, and said to him, after we had all this big argument to give him, we think we should have a boys and girls swim team in high school. And he said, sounds good to me. So we went after it, and the first team that came in was in 1988, and my youngest daughter, fortunately, was a freshman, and she was on that team, and swam all 4 years, was captain her senior year, and we just kept going from there. The boys team, the first year was the first year after that, which would have been the 89-90 season, and so that's where we are.
How did you get involved in coaching, and did you initially plan on coaching the team?
Well, to answer the second question first, I never planned.
So do that one over.
Start.
How did you get involved in coaching, and did you initially plan on coaching the team?
No, I never thought about coaching the team. I had a job, but my youngest daughter got me coaching softball, and then when we were working with the North Suburban Y, my oldest daughter was swimming there, and then eventually my youngest daughter started swimming there. And people always need coaches, and we went through a couple of coaches, and I was basically responsible for hiring about the third coach that my daughter had. And I talked to him, a young guy, graduated from UMass in his late 20s, and I said, you need some help? He said, you help me, I'll help you, teach you some things, you teach me some things. and that's how it worked out. And I basically did all the meets, North Suburban, and also helped out, especially in the U.S. swim. I was the U.S. swim coach. I took the people to U.S. swim.
How have past teams done for boys swimming at RMHS?
Well, we've had some good years and we've had some off years. When I first took the team over, they had tied for the league championship the year before. Three-way tie, basically because this team got sick, so a team beat them, and the other team got sick, and the other team beat them. And we didn't have a great year the first year. And then the next year, I had a big class come in. It always stayed pretty big. So through 1996-97, I always had about 17 to 20 people on the team. In 94-95, we had a really good team, basically because I had two superstars for the first time. I had one, but not two. And that year we finished third at states in the 200 freestyle relay. I think we finished 7th overall at states, and we were Division II at that time. And unfortunately, we were down to 8 people in 1999. That was low. And at that point, when Mr. Vaccaro asked me if I was thinking about a co-op, because some people from Linfield were talking about it. So we co-opted with Linfield for a number of years, and we ended up with almost 3/4 of the team from Linfield. And then the league basically said, you can't do that anymore. And I had 5 guys coming back 5 years ago, and we've gone from that. I actually picked up 14 new guys that year. And now we're up to the highest we've been, 23, and we're probably the best 2 teams we've ever had the last 2 years.